Your contention is as long as there's kind of an orderly election where it's not thrown into absolute chaos, that would be good for the markets. I would say as the polls tightened recently in the last week, the chances for a contested election, or at least something that isn't settled tonight, have gone up, yet the market is, it's up 800 points in 2 days, getting back some of the 1,800 from last week. So we don't want to make too much of it. But you see what my point is? It seems like we may be less certain that there's a known outcome tonight, yet the market seems to be okay with that.
Yeah, Joe, I think you are right. I think what we have seen is that last week it seemed even more uncertain, I would argue, where kind of the whole kind of political and investment community has focused in on Pennsylvania as a potential tipping state. And what we saw over the weekend was a series of what is considered high-quality polls. Those are the live calling polls. We can debate whether or not that is going to be right or not, but that showed a pretty decent set of polling for President Trump versus Joe Biden in favor of Vice President Biden. And so I think the relief rally yesterday was on a kind of solidifying of polling in Pennsylvania. Whether or not that's right or not, we have to wait until tonight, maybe for a couple days, especially in Pennsylvania, where a number of counties will not start counting a single absentee ballot until the day after the election.
Okay. You are still in the camp that if it was Joe Biden, where are you with the Senate? You think the Senate goes blue at this point? And if you had, we've been talking about how maybe gridlock would still be good, and the market might prefer if Vice President Biden didn't have a free rein to do all of the things that maybe he wants, and maybe some members of his party that are even further left of Joe Biden. It would be, maybe the market would look at that, in a less negative way if he wasn't able to get through a lot of the stuff. If it goes blue both ways, you still think the market will be fine?
Yeah, I mean, so I think tomorrow, if we have an election result, I think we're going to be waking up to either all blue or deja vu. I do think that the most likely outcome continues to be a Democratic sweep. Can President Trump win? Can Republicans maintain a control of the Senate? Absolutely. I just give that lower odds. As it relates to the market impact there, I do think when you get a blue wave, that does increase the chance of the most amount of spending next year in stimulus and infrastructure. I think there'll be debates over Green New Deal and other things, but I think those will be largely more carrots than sticks. Arguably, I think the most concerning outcome for the market, I do know that traditionally gridlock is preferred, but I think that the least amount of stimulus that we would get is in a Biden victory, but with a Republican Senate. And I think you've seen that as Mitch McConnell over the last several weeks and months has not wanted to commit the Senate to any dollar amount on stimulus, and we'll have those conversations about debt and deficit. So you don't get the help, but you would get all of the regulatory changes that a Biden administration could do. So I think that is actually the underappreciated downside risk after the election is declared.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.